if you were that child who waited in the window for your father to come home, or not come home, but to come pick you up. They promised you, yeah, I'm gonna pick you up this weekend. They didn't live with you. Pick you up this weekend, I'm take you someplace. You get dressed, you're excited, you looking, you waiting for him, and he never shows up.
Yeah.
Guess what? What ends up happening is that spouse or that boyfriend or that girlfriend who is late or cancels a date, that little girl or that little boy will show up and show out. They
Baby.
will tell you everything they wanted to say to their father. They will the trauma of that will show up and display itself.
Love, get off my street. I need you to get up out my business, love, because I'm telling you, until I went to therapy, I mean, let me tell you, the tantrums.
Yes.
The tantrums. The little 8-year-old, the disappointed 8-year-old.
Yeah.
The one waiting. The
Come
one who got
on.
promised the bike and the bike never showed up. All of those memories, they come up and they show up. And I'm sitting there and you tell me you're going to do something and you don't do it, baby. Ready for it. Here we go.
And let me tell you something. That little 8-year-old girl, a lot of times you will find that 8-year-old girl is the one. And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general.
You talking about me, but go ahead, girl.
That
We
8-year-old
can't act
girl
like we not.
is the girl who'll be like, and to make up, she ain't saying this part, but it's internal, to make up for daddy who didn't show up with the bike. I want you to not take me to no Cheesecake Factory. I need you to have this for this. And I need you to buy me this. Why? Because somebody neglected you, and in your brain, in your little child mindset, it said, if he loved me, he would show up with gifts that I saw
Yes.
my little friend when I went over her
Yes.
house. Her daddy had gotten her a doll or a bike or this and this. If my daddy loved me, he would do that. So when that man shows up, he better show up with your bike.
Baby,
he better
you-
show up with your Barbie. He better take you to the best experience possible because you missed too many experiences.
Honey, you better call them the 3 wise men coming bearing gifts, baby. You better come following the North Star. Honey, listen. But that is the part of the grow up in love, because
Grow
when
up
you
in
start
love.
to grow up and you start to love yourself better and you start to treat yourself better and you
That's
stop neglecting
right.
yourself, well, then
Absolutely.
I don't need to demand that from you.
You really don't.
Yeah.
And so, and let's flip that. We got to flip it because you got to talk about both sides. What ends up happening also when a lot of men have mother issues and they are dealing with a mother who was disapproval. I talked about adoration, but I did talk about that critical mom, that dismissive mom. That mom was hard on them because she was she was being the mother and the father in that relationship. And so he missed the nurturing. No, my mom didn't really give me love. No, my mom, I knew she loved me. She worked real hard. But no, we didn't have any hugs. There was no I love yous or any of that stuff. So when that woman shows up and she is giving all of that, you don't even have the capacity and the skills to receive it. You demand it. Why can't you be nicer? Why can't you understand the load she's carrying? You know why you can't? Because you never even understood your mother's load.
Wow.
You never had compassion for your mother. You've got to go to the root. As that child, you've got to go back to the
Yeah,
root.
you
It's
do.
not just about just deciding you're going to love yourself, but it's also about forgiving. And when I say forgive, I mean releasing your parent. You've got to see with an adult eye, you know what? That's all they had. And I'm not saying they couldn't have done better, but you do have to say, you know what? This is all they knew. They were still in their child state, and so it wasn't personal towards me. Once you acknowledge it wasn't personal towards you, you have the capacity to love the you that you feel they rejected or they did not love or that they saw something in you that was not lovable. Once you come to the conclusion, it wasn't me that was not lovable, it was them that was not loving themselves, and that's your own issue. Once you give that to them to solve, you unpack that off of you, you separate and cut the umbilical cord from that they had over you, you cut that on purpose and intentionally, and you begin to live your life and say, I will begin to love me. So you know what? I look at these arms with the, they're covered right now, but they got little wings. And I said, arms, I love you for writing what I need you to write, and typing and fixing my hair. I will tell the body parts that we'll like, oh, I just hate this about me. No, I don't hate anything. I thank my knees. I thank my teeth. I thank I thank everything about me, and thank God for giving it to me. Why? I am grateful. I am grateful. And once we begin to love the parts of us that we felt was unlovable, I'm still talking about self-love. I'm talking about the physical parts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the inward parts. I'm talking about the little girl who got molested and did not say anything. You forgive her. You go look her in the eyes and you love her. You go look at the little girl who was bullied and everybody shunned her. You go and look at the little boy who had to sell drugs to help take care of his family. You look at those people and begin to forgive and love them, and then you operate from that point. But the first thing you do is release the unloved parts of you that you felt were given to you and that you took on and began to give to yourself.
How difficult is that for people to do over and over again? Because
it's a process.
Because it doesn't just happen,
Nope.
I did it, I released it.
No.
Because I've done it. I've released it. I had to release. And then
that's like going on a diet. You go over and over again, okay?
And
sometimes you fall off the wagon and you get back up and you keep doing it. It's both loving yourself and forgiving yourself is actually a process. To say it is an event. You say, I have decided that I'm going to love myself. That's an event. I've first decided I'm going to forgive myself, or I'm going to forgive you. That's an event. However, you walk the process out daily. And in order to continue to walk the process out daily, there are some things you take away from your routine and some things you add to your routine, like in a diet. You might want to take some of those sweets out of your house so they don't act as temptations, and you might want to add some more fruit and healthy foods so they will be accessible when you need them. So if you know that social media, certain places will actually make you compare because you are prone to comparison due to your neglect. If you feel that is a hindrance in your self-love activities, then you may want to look less at that.
Oh, that's so good, because of course we're all inundated every day.
Absolutely.
With that little phone.
Absolutely.
And we get, every message in the world is thrown to us instantly.
Absolutely.
And then we sit and go down the scroll hole. We wake up scrolling. We go to bed scrolling. We sit in here scrolling, all the things. And for people who have been neglected and you struggle with that comparison, now 24/7, right in your hand, you get to compare and contrast your life all hours of the day.
But the problem is, studies show that many people, when they are comparing their lives, it's actually miswanting. That's a term, miswanting. They think that if they had what that person has, it would make them happy. When in reality, the truth, one Harvard study showed that in all of the things that people thought, if I lose more weight, if I get this certain job, if I make this certain income, I will be happier.
Yeah.
You can be happy, but I will be happier. The truth of the reality is, the only real true happiness came in giving back. Believe it or not, the Bible is true. It is more blessed to give than to receive. So when people were volunteering and doing things, even like this podcast, you know that you're helping people.
Yeah.
When you sit in this chair, the people that tune in, you're changing lives. So this portion of your life can be so fulfilling, even if it's stressful, even if it's things that has happened, but it can be so stressful. Why? Because you're not here just taking.
Yeah.
You are here giving.
Absolutely.
And so that kind of stuff like that is actually more precious and creates a more fulfilling life and more happiness than some of the other stuff. Even if, with the mall right around here.
Yeah.
You can walk through. I ain't saying you got to not go through there, and it won't make you happy, but it doesn't. It's not as long lasting as what you're doing.
Hey, Vault family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vault Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.